Enjoy basketball, soccer, and all your favorite sports like never before at BetMGM. Sign up using bonus code CHAMPION and your first wager is risk-free up to $1,000. Plus, when you register with BetMGM, you'll get instant access to a variety of parlay selection features, live betting options, player props, and daily boosted odds specials. Download the BetMGM app today or go to BetMGM.com and enter bonus code CHAMPION and place your first wager risk-free up to $1,000. Now you're winning with the king of sportsbooks. Visit BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. 21 years of age or older to wager. Washington, D.C. and Virginia only. New customer offer. All promotions are subject to qualification and eligibility requirements. Rewards issued as non-withdrawable free bets or site credit. Free bets expire 7 days from issuance. Please gamble responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700.
Hey, this is Doug.
I'm Greg.
And this is Mike.
And you're listening to the It's Funny, That Makes It Okay podcast. And we hope you enjoy the show. Here we go. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. Here we are. March. March has come in like a lamb as far as the weather's concerned.
Yeah.
We may be at the end of Western civilization. The world seems to be on fire, but the weather's beautiful.
So we got that going for us.
We do have that going for us. So,
which is nice.
Hopefully, if nothing else, you can listen to our stupid little podcast here for about an hour and kind of relax. And
it'll make you want to go back to the world's problems.
You'll hope that the end is nearer than it was before you started listening. No. So is everybody doing good? How are we doing?
Oh, I'm doing good. Getting ready for a big event here at our house. A big sprinkle.
Oh, okay. Do you see the doctor for that, or what's going on?
Well, I wasn't aware of what a sprinkle was.
I wasn't either.
I guess it's sort of like a shower.
Oh, you're having plumbing problems.
No,
you gotta have a plumber come over.
My daughter is pregnant with twins.
Oh, well.
And normally you have a shower. Well, this one's called a sprinkle. I'm still not 100% sure of the difference.
I think it's because it's not her first child, is what I was told.
Oh.
So they don't have a full-blown shower. You just get a sprinkle.
A
sprinkle of gifts.
So the gifts they seem to be more geared towards
my whole life has been a
diapers
sprinkle in that case. I've never got a full-blown anything. Well,
yeah.
Oh, wait. I've never gotten anything.
Yeah, well, the guys never.
Oh, no. Bills. I get to pay the bills.
Yeah, we get to pay the bills.
I get the full bill. That's always there.
And it's not a sprinkle.
No, it is not.
So we got that going coming up this weekend. So,
well, I'll give a quick rundown, then I'm going to turn it over to Mike here because he's got some stuff. But we got a little intro. I think each one of us have a little thing, and then we're going to do a Betcha Can't Rant. We haven't done that in a little while. Then we're going to try a new segment. It may be a complete flop, so if you enjoy hearing us fail, you're just like our wives. No. You obviously enjoy hearing us fail because you're listening to this podcast. This is for better or worse. We're going to try something a little new.
That sounds like a marriage thing.
Yeah, well, maybe it'll turn into that. I don't know. And then I got some stupid criminal stuff. We haven't done that in a while. So.
You gotta love the stupid criminals.
Yeah, there was a couple of really good stories. Like, okay, we're gonna drag them out. So
sounds good.
All right, Mike, take it away.
Yeah, well, weather is getting warmer, like we've been touching on here. So people, myself included, are going to the car wash.
That's right.
So everybody is rinsing off the 18 layers of salt from their vehicles and getting all that road grime off there.
And for anyone that doesn't live in this type of a climate, they have salt on their vehicle because of
the snow and ice and everything. So all the
or if you're from a different country and you don't use this,
right,
they'll throw down salt and
melt the ice and snow on the roads to make them more drivable and
it gets all
create
over
giant potholes that your car will fall into.
Craters.
Your car turns, if you got a black car, it turns a shade of white for a while.
Gray.
Yeah.
And so do the roads. You'll have a completely black asphalt road that's completely white from not even the snow, just from the salt.
The salt, yeah.
So it sticks around here for a little bit. So go to the car wash. It takes like 5 trips, and then you're maybe making a dent in the
you're
salt.
cutting through.
So people are out. People are going to the car wash, and I've noticed some disturbing patterns at the car wash. makes me very annoyed. I think this is my version of the McDonald's drive-thru. Honestly, I think that's what this is. The car wash etiquette is terrible. People don't know the manners around the car wash. And for reference to, I use the do-it-yourself car wash bays. I'm not really a big fan of the you drive through kind of a thing. I'd rather pay just $1.50, whatever, $2. I don't know. Just do it myself. Ideally, I'll do it when it gets warmer at home in the driveway.
Right.
And
do Courtney's car while you're at it.
If she'll let me. Well, she'll let me wash it. I just can't clean the inside. But that's where I don't know.
That's a whole nother story.
That's a whole nother thing. Slowly but surely, we'll get there.
Yeah.
So anyway, people recently, I've pulled in. There's one car wash in particular in my hometown. Doug is familiar with this car wash.
I am.
There's really no. I mean, it's this one and there's one other one. I really don't like the other one because that one's run down, and I've had issues with the other one. So I'm stuck with basically one option on where to wash my car.
You can come a little bit further, come down into my area of the town. Now it's a little shadier. I don't live in the fancy communities like Mike, but you can come down. We got 2 car washes down there. So.
Well, I might have to. So the way that this car
it's just
washes,
a pair of hoses, but
well,
homeless guy rubs his belly all over your car. He gets it pretty clean though. It really does.
Suds it up real nice.
It does. It does. He's got to put up with his crazy ranting.
As long as you get the really hairy homeless guy.
They're all really hairy.
Well, that's what makes them effective.
Yeah.
As car wash.
Yeah. You get 3 or 4 of them on meth. It's kind of like an automatic. Like those washers, blah, 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 they're beating all over your car.
Well, the suds that come out of their mouth, it's
it's very.
to it.
It does. It's I'm trying to make lemonade out of lemons. Yeah. So.
So the way that this car wash that I use structure is, they got the there's like 2, I think there's 3 self-serve bays, and then you have the 1 or 2. I think one you drive through, it's automatic, and the other one you drive through, but that one's got a dryer on the far end. So there's one.
I like the dryer.
I do too.
like the dryer.
I have not used the dryer,
especially in the wintertime.
You don't get spots on your car then.
Why does he use the no spot?
It still will
rinse?
spot. The no spot rinse. I don't care what they say. You still get some spots. I like the dry. Sorry, I didn't mean to derail.
I don't. Maybe I might try the dry. The problem is with this one, there's one entrance on the side, and then you funnel between 5 or 6 lanes from one entrance. There's no gap, hardly big enough to get your car. If there's lines through the automatic ones, those are the more populated lines. So those are backing
because
up
we're all lazy and won't get out of our cars anymore.
Whatever. I mean, maybe the dryer's just so nice. Maybe I'm missing out on something. The dryer might just be.
You are a little bit, but
I like the dryer.
Maybe I'll give it a shot.
Mike will bring a hairdryer next time for the self-serve bay.
So, Greg is kind of onto something here with things I've been seeing. So anyway, lines are backed up, and then when you get to the self-serve lanes, once you can actually get through the people like wanting to do the other ones, you get through, and you still got to wait, whatever. If you want to vacuum your car, the vacuum stations are literally right at the entrance to the bays. So the other day, I was behind somebody. So I was like the second person in line. Somebody was in the bay. Somebody's before me. Then I'm here. The guy before me vacuums his car. I mean, he vacuumed his car for like 5 minutes. Like the guy before him was done. He's vacuuming his car, totally not using the bay. It's like, oh my gosh, you got to be kidding me.
I am surprised they put him in front of the bay.
It's literally right in front of the bay. You can't get into it if somebody's vacuuming their car.
Huh.
It doesn't make sense.
Because like the one here in town, it's outside. Like you go through the self-serve bay, then you pull out, and they're over there.
Yep. Yeah, I don't know why they did it that way.
Poor design.
It is poor design.
It is. Well, and by the time you turn out of the self-serve bays, if the actual garage doors are open, which they're not always open, so then you got to back out behind the 3 people behind you somehow. It's if they don't open the garage doors. That's a whole other thing. Open the garage doors.
I've opened the garage door. Now I don't know, not there, but other places that because they're not automatic. I just got to raise it up and pull through.
I feel like I tried and it wouldn't.
They may be automatic. I don't know there
because I was like, there's a line of 4 people behind me. I can't back out. But anyway, I couldn't. I mean, I had to go behind some other guy's lane because the guy was vacuuming his car. I mean, he's just vacuuming his car. I don't know how long he's going to be there. So that's frustrating. So you lose a bay if somebody vacuums. And then the other line I was behind, some guy takes all of his floor mats. He's got the fancy WeatherTech floor mats. Takes them out, rinses them down individually. I'm like, oh my gosh. I mean, there's signs in there that say...
no hand washing.
Yeah, exactly. You don't do these things if there's lines behind
No chamois drying.
So this guy cleans his floor mats, and then, as Greg was alluding to, he brings a towel to manually dry the floor mats. The floor mats.
I'd have had to say something.
Like,
I'm
what
like,
are
dude,
you doing?
You can pull out and dry those out here.
I know. And the guy, he keeps going over to punch in more time in his timer to pay to dry his floor mats with a towel in the bay where there's water everywhere. It does not make sense. People do not know how to use the car wash, apparently. You go in, you clean your car, you leave. You're done. You can do all the other stuff at home, whatever.
I think
Or
that's a bigger
building,
issue, too.
yeah.
I think etiquette in general. I mean, just in like a line at the grocery store, a line at a restaurant, people are very... They're self-centered anymore. It's not like, oh, excuse me, why don't you go ahead, or this or that, or are you in line? It's all about me, me, me. I'm important. I'm more important than you. I got to hurry up and get my stuff done so I can get home or get to wherever.
I try to, when I'm in line for something, I try to sense people around me, and if I feel someone...
Are you sensing something now?
Well, not right now, but I do. Yeah, I try to hustle along if I know I'm holding up a line or something. I only buy 3 lottery tickets instead of 12. I mean,
and then you scratch them right there.
Yeah, right there.
One at a time. Yeah. There's one number.
Or you're with a group of 18 people at the grocery store and you take up the entire aisle and move about 2 inches a minute. It's
yeah.
Meanwhile,
the auto picker people are there.
This is so bad. And
it is.
That, I think, is my McDonald's drive-thru. Every time I've gone to wash the cars at the car wash, it's just been one thing after another. And it just drives me nuts.
Yeah.
So anyway,
understand. I've had that same stress at the local car wash here. The self-serve one. I guess there was a thing on. Are you done with that?
Yeah.
There was on the Mortonites Facebook page. There was a complaint thread running about the new car wash. That's
all the Mortonite page is, isn't it? One giant complaint.
Well,
thread.
Yeah, but not always the car wash.
Well, the complaint changes.
Yeah. But I get, we've got a newer car wash in town. It's one of those, what do they call them? Tunnel. I don't know. It's
automatic car wash.
It's like you pull in.
Your car in
you
neutral
pull in a conveyor belt or something.
Yeah,
pulls
conveyor
across.
belt grabs your front wheels and pulls you through.
Yep.
And well, I guess the one in town here has caused like 3 different sets of peoples for their cars to bump into each other. I mean, and I felt it myself when you get to the dryer, you can feel your car roll backwards.
Yep.
Well, if the second person came in too fast, you'd run into each other. Well, I guess there was almost a fist fight out there the other night because 2 people ran into each other and the second guy was giving the first guy attitude and they almost got into it. But, it's a brand new car wash, but I guess, if you don't you got,
I always watch behind me when I'm in there because I don't trust those
guys
conveyor.
Telling cars when to go on, and I think they tell them too quick. I think they say, okay,
a little bit of
keep going, and then the cars are too close, and when you have a little slip in the belt, boom.
Well, I've heard of people, too, braking when they're on those conveyor belts. Like, why are you doing that?
Yeah.
Well, unless you're... Because there is some space in there, and your car will roll back and forth. Because I put my foot on the brake because I started going back, and there was a car behind me, not super close, but I did hit my brake to let it, because you're waiting for the conveyor belt to kind of catch up to you and push you on forward.
Yeah, because I think doesn't it say to put it in neutral?
Yeah.
Which if you're in neutral, your car can still roll.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you probably do need your foot on the
the
brake.
one down in another town, I don't feel like I've ever had that problem there. I have felt that at the one here.
Yeah.
When I've used it.
You can feel it kind of move.
And I feel
back
like they do push you in there too close. I always feel, I'm like, man, they're really close to me. I mean, they're tailgating me and I can't shake him.
And I can see how, that's going to confuse some people too as I'm waiting for a senior citizen to get in there and trounce on the gas pedal because they pull you up, and then the guy points up at this little sign they've got up there that tells you to disengage, put it in neutral, put on your brake, do the. I can just see some old person.
Well, it says do not put on the
Nothing
brake.
against old person because I'm right there with you, but I can see someone, putting it down, leaving it in drive and then getting confused and trouncing on the gas pedal.
Yeah, you're not supposed to put on your brake because it's pushing your tires forward. So the belt, your car's not on the belt as far as like the belt's not moving you. The things are rolling your tires forward.
Oh, I haven't even paid attention to what it's doing.
So that's why when it stops, sometimes the car goes back.
And then I sent a picture to you guys when Mike told me his car wash. I said they've taken on the McDonald's thing now. They've got 2 lanes to pull in, and they had a cone out there with 1 lane blocked. Why? I have no idea.
Yeah, especially that one because you just pay, and there's a gate that will raise up, and you just drive forward, and
it's
the other
not
side
like
will drive forward. And
I don't understand.
I'm assuming the gates are timed so they don't both go up, and you're like the horse is like, and they're off. Maybe they are.
Yeah.
Because somebody would be an idiot and try to whip up. It's like, really, we're all going to get in the car wash. It's okay.
Yeah.
So I don't know why we got a gate. I mean, not a gate, a cone.
I don't know.
I next thing you know, there'll be a chair out there.
Oh, yeah.
Block it with a chair.
They'll say 24 hours, but really that will just mean, a select few hours.
Yeah.
Not really 24 hours.
That is the
So,
truth.
do you want me to do mine real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. Well, mine's back to McDonald's. Not really the indoor restaurant part. Still haven't had a problem there. Was there yesterday with Dan, my invisible friend, and things went well. They still continue to improve, so that's good. But I ordered a lunch sandwich on the app, and I did my normal thing.
Is that different from the dinner sandwich?
It is.
Okay, I didn't know. I didn't know
The
how
Big
that
Mac is
worked.
different for lunch.
I
than
want
it
the
is for
lunch
dinner.
Big Mac.
Yes.
It's a little bit smaller.
It's cheaper too.
Okay.
So anyways, I ordered my sandwich on the app, and what I normally do is on my way there, I'll quick punch because I got it in as a favorite, and I'll just hit Big Mac sandwich or whatever, and it'll order it, and it says choose your payment method. Hit that, boom. Then it says when you get here, tap here, and you can punch in. Do you want to do curbside or go in or go through drive-through? So I always do curbside, and I punch the number of the slot I pull into. So I hit the button. I mean, I'm literally next to the drive-through, ready to turn into my slot, and I hit the button that I'm here, and it comes up and says, it doesn't look like you're here yet. And I'm like, I am here. I'm sitting right here. But the app is telling me I'm not here yet. And it says,
Did you ask, where am I then?
Yeah, and I could not get it off this screen to finish the order. Well, at the bottom it says, if you're already here, even though it says it doesn't look like you're here, see a crew member for help and mention your order code. Well, for one thing, it doesn't show my order code on this page, and I can't get it to go back to where my order code is. So I go in, and some high school guy standing there, and he's like, yeah. And I'm like, yeah, I placed an order in the app, and it says it doesn't, I'm not here. And he's like,
are any of us really here, man?
And then while I was in there, I was able to get it to go.
Spicoli waiting on me. Great.
So while I'm waiting, I was able to finally get to go back to this one screen to where the order number was. But by then he goes, well, must not took. And I'm like, okay, well, did it charge me? Well, I don't know. And I'm like, what do I do here? I don't know what to do. Should I reorder? So I looked on there. And I just said, forget it. I'll just give me a Big Mac sandwich. I swiped my card, but I'm showing him. I said, but look, it's got the order number right there, and it's got my amount that I'm being charged. Are you sure it's not charging me? Well, no, I don't think so. I don't know. And I never did get a straight answer out of him. I mean, nobody seemed to know really. I don't think they know how these apps work. I think it's a third-party company.
I was just going to say, I think it's a
they don't know how it
third-party.
works. And when there's any slight little hiccup, you're done. So I just ordered it, got my Big Mac. So I checked my bank account. I haven't seen a second charge on it, but
I will say, I know my son worked for Domino's for several years, and he said people would go in there and they would be mad at them and yell at them about the app. And he said, and it's true. A third party runs the app. He says, we don't see, I can't log in. They're like, well, log in. I said, I don't see that. We don't see that in the store. We see nothing to do with the app. It comes in. We just get a text that says, bloop, oh, here, this pizza's coming in for this guy. That's it. He said, we can't access the app. The payment doesn't come to us. It goes to this third party, and then it's sent out to the franchisee.
Yeah, I understand that, but it's like, okay,
it is frustrating.
You're McDonald's. You're running the app.
I agree with you.
Figure out a way to access the app then.
I think I know what's going on here. I think I can help. So what you just experienced, Greg, is the equivalent of the cone version, like the cone blocking off the drive-through.
Yeah,
in the app.
In the app. Yeah, maybe I went down the wrong lane.
Yeah, all they need is a picture of a cone right there to help you.
It should have been a cone.
No. Then I would know. I would know then.
Exactly.
I would know.
Every time the app crashes, just a cone. Oh, sorry. This has been blocked now.
You got the cone. Doggone it.
It's going so well.
It has been going better, but yeah, this app thing.
So you tried using technology, and then you had to order it the old-fashioned way.
I did.
So one way, you tried both. So one way is a little better than another.
You had to go back to the mediocre customer service.
That's right.
That might even be a little less than mediocre with the dude. I don't know.
Yeah, he didn't
have
he didn't
woman
seem to
from
care
the
too
morning
much.
that was
No, the Asian gal.
down.
The Asian gal. She is Johnny on the spot.
It's Johnny on the spot.
She's still. She was there yesterday. She's just cracking it back there, man.
All right.
It's going to be a tough day for Greg when she moves on.
Yeah, when she leaves, I have a feeling there's going to be a change in service quality all of a sudden.
Probably will be. All right. Did you have anything else?
No, that was all. So I just liked it. It's like, I like that they put in front of it. It doesn't look like you're here yet.
That's not inspiring confidence in me either. You're the app or you're the technology. Like, I'm not sure where you're at or what's going on. We may have charged you, or we may not have.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm sitting in one of the slots right now.
Are you sure you're at McDonald's and not Burger King?
Yeah. Come on, Greg. We know.
Oh, my gosh. All right. Well, I got a quick little thing. I don't know. You guys ever get the little plastic cups of fruit? I'll take them for lunches. Like, I get the pineapple ones. It's got they're little plastic. They come in like 6 in a little container. You take them out and throw them in your lunch, and then you can eat them.
Okay,
got the
or
cellophane,
whatever.
the cellophane top. You peel back and eat it. So I like those. So I'll get them. My complaint is it takes like 300 of PSI for me to peel that stupid plastic off. And, I'm stressing because I'm like, this is going to make a huge mess. I'll roll the window down, stick both my hands out and try to do it slow. And it just gets everything.
Oh, yeah.
I have got juice all over me constantly, or it'll just fly open and half of the cup will spill out. I'm like, this is ridiculous.
I think the same company seals that seals the cereal bags.
I agree with you. That cereal bag is ridiculous.
Yeah. You try to open a bag of cereal, pull it out of the box, and it's like.
Yeah. My bigger complaint is not that, but the other day I had one in my hand, and it slipped out of my hand. It dropped about 6 inches. The cup just destroyed, just splattered. Like, how is it? It can't sustain a 6-inch drop, but I cannot physically rip the cellophane off of it. If I drop it from 3 inches, it'll just fall apart. If I try to rip it off, no, I can't get my fruit out of there.
It's a fruit bomb. You drop it.
Yeah.
It was. It hit the ground and exploded everywhere in the kitchen. The dogs are like, oh, like, get out of here. Like, they're loving it. Like, ooh, pineapple.
It's the pineapple cloud.
You must have had it land on the emergency, escape button or whatever.
It barely dropped. I just reached down to pick it up. I'm like, what? It was everywhere. I'm like, oh, jeez. So, that's my only gripe.
The Dole Fruit Company.
It's just you're getting trained. You got to take a lot of force. One time, you're just going to get one. You're going to go with the force, and it's just going to it's just going to open.
I'll punch myself in the mouth.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, let's move on to Betcha Can't Rant. We haven't done one of these in a while.
Rant.
The concept of this is we have the Rantinator 2000 that we punch up, and it will randomly.
We need to update that to the 2020 one.
We did and had problems. I had to roll it back.
Yeah.
A little cone popped up. Boop. Oh, crap.
You can't process your rant.
Yes. Oh, sorry. Your rant didn't work. What do you mean it didn't work? So we're giving a word, and then we got to try to come up with some kind of a bit, a rant, something funny about this.
And these are all listener submitted.
Yes, they are. So if you guys would like to see if you can stump us, and it has been done.
Yes.
Give us a holler. Who wants to go first? I can go first. Or
Go ahead.
All right, Mike.
All right.
Here we go.
Doug.
Oh,
All right.
no. Fire away.
This is from Anonymous.
I've never had anonymous.
I don't know who that is.
That doesn't bode well. They don't even want their name on. Maybe they don't want their name connected to our podcast. Listen, I don't want you guys saying my name out there.
Or, I mean, given the topic, I don't know. You have to rant about sex. Submitted by Anonymous.
Wow. Where do I begin? Sex. All right. Well, see, we try to keep it PG-13 a lot of times. But
PG-13, PG-14. But, you know,
I'm going to have to see what I can. See, I got to be extremely careful here because I can't just. I have some things I'd like to say, but it's like I don't want to get myself into a lot of trouble.
Neither did Anonymous.
They wanted to get me into a lot of trouble. Okay. Well, first off, let's talk about, I think, how men and women, they view sex completely different. I mean, obviously that's not.
what, like television versus,
Yes.
oh, no.
Yeah. So, well, I think let's equate it. Let's do this. I'm gonna make this with like pizza. Okay. Like
You're not going to destroy pizza for me, are
I
you?
hope not. But I think women, they want a nice quality pizza. They don't mind waiting for the pizza. I will put in an order, but I want good toppings. I want great cheese. I want a good crust. I want a nice fire roasted pizza, something, Giordano's even, something. I don't mind waiting for it. I don't mind doing it. And you know what? I love a good pizza. I love a good pizza. You can't go wrong with a good pizza. But I think a lot of guys are just kind of like, you know what though? I'm all right with bad pizza. Sometimes a 99-cent pizza will work just fine. I don't need to spend a bunch of money and wait a lot of time. I'm good with the sometimes a pizza roll. Just a pizza roll. I don't even eat the whole pizza. Just a pizza roll. So I guess that's it. I'm trying to make it as PG-13 as I can. So that was difficult. Yeah. I had things I'd like to say, but I can't. I'm trying to keep it, like I said, PG-13.
Well, I think it worked.
Well, I'll give you a large 2-topping pizza of your choice.
Oh, is it my anniversary? Wow.
I hope Anonymous is proud of that answer.
Yes. Thank you, Anonymous. I was
going to give
fun.
him 2 pizza flavored peeps.
Oh, now see, now you've ruined 2 things for me. I don't even know what that equates to because I can't think of anything that would equate to.
Well, we're getting closer to
good.
Easter. I wanted to throw, precursor, so.
Ugh, that was terrible. All right, so there we go.
All right.
That was, thank you, Anonymous.
Yes, thank you, Anonymous. All right, Mike, you ready?
Sure.
All right, well, this one is submitted by my wife, Lori.
Oh, I was hoping it was Anonymous.
Anonymous touching on all the big topics.
Yes.
So.
Well, this one is big fluffy clouds.
Okay.
You got a gripe about them.
Okay. I would have traded you, Mike.
Keep it PG-13.
All right.
Mike
big
says,
fluffy clouds.
Big fluffy clouds are a lot like sex. He goes the other direction with it. Like, oh, Mike. He's going all blue with it. Like,
I think I know what Anonymous is really getting at.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
let's see if we can spin this.
Yeah.
Big fluffy clouds.
Big fluffy clouds.
Okay. Well, usually, I'd say big fluffy clouds are supposed to be some sort of like joyous thing, right? Like you associate them with summertime and nice days, maybe.
Yeah, I would.
See,
I wouldn't.
I think of big fluffy clouds as like storm clouds. Typically,
Are those fluffy?
they look fluffy. All clouds look fluffy, don't they?
I don't know.
I mean, we're discriminating against clouds now. We're calling them big and fluffy, which I'm sure really
Fat shaming a cloud is what you're doing.
Exactly.
They can't
I'm
help
not.
that they're big and fluffy.
Well, for me, they just take away the sun. They're just big.
They don't really take it away. They just hide it.
They hide it.
Okay. I
sun's
want you to
gone.
think that it was, oh!
Wait, it doesn't go
Where'd
away.
the sun go?
It doesn't go away?
No.
Oh.
It's just behind the cloud.
Oh. Well, I never knew that. See,
Now
I
you got to
thought
change your whole rant. like stir it up. Forget it.
I thought they
I don't know
took
what
it
I'm doing.
away. Well, I thought the sun. I was personally offended when the sun stole the cloud. They took it away. Why don't? I'm not going to lay underneath a blanket or something and look at a cloud. And
Well, if
guess
you're
its
under the
shape.
blanket, why are you looking at anything? I'm sorry.
Just go eat your pizza
Yeah,
in your corner.
your pizza roll.
I know. That's all I got anymore.
Doug's using the microwave to heat up some pizza rolls. Popping the
Cold
Tostinos.
pizza even. I mean,
Hey, cold pizza's not bad sometimes.
hot pizza's the best, but hey, in a pinch, a cold pizza roll.
A frozen one? Oh, that sounds nasty.
I mean, I don't know where else to. I don't know what else to do with this. With the cloud, they block the sun. They bring rain, storms. I don't know. I don't know what else to do with this.
Well, people always say, "Oh, look at that cloud! Doesn't it look like whatever it is?" And whenever I look, well, something like kind of. I guess if you squint or turn your head, but it doesn't really look like a duck or a dog or whatever. But
Oh, they do.
they do.
That's when you tell a person you need to lay off the pizza toppings. I think you've been putting a little too much on the pizza. So I don't know.
Sometimes after you have pizza, you want to lay back and look at the clouds and just relax.
All right. Well, I'll give you one nimbus and one cumulus cloud.
All right. Nimbus, like what's he giving you? What's he giving Mike? I'll give you a bright, sunny, shiny day because
With no clouds.
No clouds.
Well, they're stealing it, obviously. So thank you.
And it was big, fluffy. It was nothing. It wasn't small and streamlined or anything like that. It was only the big, fluffy ones.
All right.
It's an interesting topic.
Yeah.
It's Greg's turn, right?
Yes.
This is from your daughter, Courtney. Dumpsters.
Dumpsters. Well, I've had my experiences with dumpsters.
Well, you lived in one for a while. Sorry.
That's right. No, my worst experience, I think I've shared maybe on here before.
Oh, yes, you
my
have.
worst experience with a dumpster is when my son left his retainer on a table at a Chinese restaurant. That retainer was expensive, so I'm like, we got to go back and see if we can find this. So we go back to the restaurant and we ask the people inside, did you happen to find a retainer? And of course, no, no. We're like, well, she goes, you could go through the trash. And I'm like, where's that? Out back. It's a dumpster. It's July and it's 95 degrees out at a Chinese restaurant dumpster. And we're dumpster diving for a retainer. There's two guys out back smoking. Two of the guys that work in the restaurant. They're standing out back.
They're watching.
And they're just
you.
laughing.
Yeah.
We got a stick out there. We're poking and prodding through this leftover Chinese food that's.
Even if I found it, I couldn't put that back in my mouth.
Yeah.
Oh, it wouldn't have been in my mouth. Nick would have had to still wear it.
I'd be like, guess what? I'm just going to have crooked teeth because I'm done. I'm
It's
out.
like, we did not find it ever.
So you dumpster dove for nothing.
Yes. That was disgusting. That was the grossest thing. So yeah, that's my personal experience. And there were no big fluffy clouds in the sky
If
that
only
day.
you had some clouds.
It was bright sunshine. The sun had not gone away and it was hot and it was stinky. Oh my gosh, it was horrible.
What would have been really ironic with that story is if digging through the trash, you found just a bunch of pizza. No Chinese food,
yeah.
just pizza.
Yeah, that would have been ironic. A lot of pizza. Yeah. Yeah.
No, that sounds.
I would have
terrible.
called Doug then. So
That sounds awful.
I don't want to share pizza with you.
well, no. I just,
Okay. I want
I don't know.
All right.
But so there was that. And, just dumpsters in general. I mean, that's pretty easy to complain about because they're gross. I mean, it's not like a clean, neat thing you're going to, I guess on a positive note, you do it gives you a place to get rid of your junk, but they're gross. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
Okay. Well, I'm going to give you 2 burly garbage men.
I thought you were going to say
Nice.
2 burly pizza guys.
Nope. I still don't think I got the short end of the stick on this one.
Yeah. It seems like though once every Betcha Can't Rant segment, there's always one person who gets a little bit.
I've been able to avoid it here lately. That one was a rough one. Sorry.
What would I give you, Greg? You know what? I'm going to give you a nice, clean scented Febreze smelling garbage bag.
Nice. Oh.
So at least your
For-
dumpster experience will be.
I can put that over my head while I'm digging.
Maybe. However you want to use it, that's up to you.
All right. Well, good. I got that
Use
going
it like
for me.
a car air freshener in the dumpster. You
Yeah.
just put it off on the side, make it smell a little bit better.
Thanks
All
for
right.
that.
There we go.
All right.
All right. Well, we'll move on here like that. The for better or for worse, and I'll try to explain kind of what we're doing. It's kind of
Yes, please do.
talking. I don't know that I can about how things are now versus how they were maybe when I was a kid or when you was a kid. We're going to try to compare, see which is better, which is worse. There's pros and cons to everything. We're just going to kind of flush 1 or 2 of these out and see where they go from there. But this kind of ties in with your rant about the McDonald's, the app, ordering on the app.
Yeah.
Because the first thing I had on here was kind of like phones or communications, that kind of a technology. And it is nice. I mean, smartphones are very handy. I like using the GPS when I'm driving. I think we've discussed that before. You punch it in, it'll suggest, hey, there's an accident ahead. You want to take a different route? Yes, I do.
And then on the flip side, you're using your GPS and say, we're going to reroute you, if you'd like to, an hour and 45 minutes
Yes.
out of your way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For no reason.
Yeah, the delay would have been 10 minutes, but we're going to take you an hour and a half out of your way.
But it is nice. And then ordering, they have the apps on your phone. You can order, and that's nice when it works.
Yeah. I mean, one thing I thought about with phones is there's a pro and a con that's the same. The pro is everything's accessible right in your hand. You need something like now, you can order food. You can, like you said, get directions. You can do all that. But on the flip side of that, you are also accessible.
Yes, you are.
So in the old days, nobody could get a hold of you. I mean, you're out driving around, you're out, with your friends on a Friday night or something. Parents aren't getting a hold of you. Nobody's getting a hold of you.
Yeah.
Now we were expected to check in periodically, which meant finding a phone and calling them. But you had this certain level of, I don't know, what would be the word? Not anonymity or whatever, but more.
You have more privacy.
You had privacy. Yeah. The expectation wasn't that somebody could get a hold of
A
you.
little more autonomy, too.
Yeah.
I mean, you're out
That's
there
probably
on
the
your
word I'm thinking
own.
of.
And for those of you who don't know, Mike, you're from the millennial generation, and I'm a Gen Xer, and Greg's a baby boomer. It's on the very edge of baby boomer and Gen X. So it kind of gives you we all have a little bit different perspective of where we came from here. Because I was thinking, too, with phones, now Mike probably never experienced this, but if you wanted privacy when I was a kid, when I was on the phone, like it rarely happened, but if I called a girl, the amount of privacy you got was how long that telephone
Trying to order some
cord
pizza.
was. Yeah. I never got any pizza. So the only privacy you got was how long that telephone cord was. I mean, that's it.
We did have long cords on our phones.
Did you see? We
Yeah.
did not, but the phone was next to the stairwell going upstairs, so you could wrap it around and shut the stairwell door and sit
Yeah.
on the stairs and talk. But you also tied up the phone. And so after a little bit, Mom and Dad become, hey, that's enough. Get off the phone. And see, and you don't understand either probably the frustration of trying to call somebody and hearing that busy tone. You're like, who are they talking to? Come on. Like, criminy. They're still busy. So, yeah, that was always a lot of fun.
Or if you had, we had two phones in our house. So
yeah.
sometimes you'd be on the phone talking,
hear-
if you're talking to a girl and your brother gets on the other line and then you hear him in the background, you know, stuff
Or you hear
like
the
that.
click, like,
Yeah.
oh, somebody's
Somebody's
picked up the
listening.
phone. Somebody's listening. Or that cord would get all knotted up and you'd have to unplug it from the handset and it all unwind. You got to pull it back out and stretch it out.
Yeah.
Or this, I'm sure you probably encountered this. I don't know where you were at, Michael.
When did you get your
talk.
first cell phone?
My first cell phone was when I was a freshman in high school.
Yeah, then you probably didn't experience a lot of, but did you ever have this one? You know, your mom or dad would be home and the phone would ring and they'd pick it up and they say, hello. It's like, yes, this is the operator. Would you receive a collect call from, I'm done at the basketball game. Come pick me up.
Oh yeah.
Because you do the collect call and that says, please say your name. And that would be your name.
Do you remember long distance phone cards?
Oh yeah. Pardon me.
Yeah.
Yes, I do.
Yeah, I remember when we went on our honeymoon, we had a long
Not
distance.
you and I.
No, not you and I. And we had a long distance phone card, and we were expected to call either our parents.
Yeah.
When we got where we were going, we went to Florida. Those phone cards, you had to dial like 87 digits
Yes, you did.
to get. It's like, okay, dial 1-943-287-698, and then, you know, #3, and then the number of the person you're. It's like,
And then your personal PIN, which is, 6 digits. Like,
yeah.
Or with the long distance, you got cheaper rates at night, but the night they'd say, sign up for this phone company, and our long distance rates are 10 cents a minute at night instead of like 50 cents a minute. So you're like, oh, okay. So, but then it say, your nighttime hours are like 9:45 to 4 in the morning. It's like, well, okay. I got to call somebody at that time or.
Yeah. Yeah, the long distance. Yeah. You had to be careful. Even calling Peoria long distance.
At one time.
So
yeah.
that's like,
Well, from
20
like
miles from here.
Washington to Peoria, it was. Yeah.
Yeah. So your phone bill would have these long distance charges on it because you called Peoria.
Yeah. And then like texting is super convenient too, or messaging. I know a lot of people do that, which is, it's funny because, we had Morse code and the telegraph. Like, they're sending a message over a wire, and they finally invent the phone. We can hear somebody's voice when it picks up. And then we've kind of come full circle. It's like, I don't want to talk to anybody. I'll just send them this message. And then we can send them emojis, which is like the telegraph. It's just a little bunch of symbols. Like, doo, doo, doo. It's like, here's a bunch of symbols for you.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember when I first got my phone and it had text. I'm like, why would anybody want to do
I
this?
said the same thing. This is the dumbest thing ever. It's like writing a letter to somebody. Why do I want to write a letter? I can just call them.
Yeah.
And I still feel that way sometimes. I'm old
Text
man.
for me have to be very short.
Yeah, it can't be trying to plan an evening. It's got to be a yes or no question. Or let's just talk and figure out what we're doing.
Yeah, and I think I shared my gripe about trying to call someone who just texted me and they don't answer their phone.
I'm glad you
It's
brought
like,
that
you
up.
just
'cause
texted me.
I have that in my notes.
How could you not answer when I call when you just texted
Yeah,
me?
if you and I were texting each other and you'd ask, you say, well, you want to, you want to go here for lunch? Yeah, I think so. And then I hit the button and we just did. It's like, oh, and then if I called you and it would go to voicemail, I was like, how? I literally just got a text from you. How can you not answer the phone?
Yeah.
I don't know. All right. That's kind of where we're coming from. I don't know if you have any thoughts on it or.
Yeah. I think I'm probably a little bit different than other people like my age, because I think I was on the later end to actually get a cell phone. Like growing up, my parents had 2 landline phones.
Yep.
So I always remember I had to memorize like phone numbers of, my parents, grandparents, like aunt and uncle, friends, Like I'd still have to kind of memorize phone numbers and stuff like that.
Yep. I still have some memorized from my childhood, believe it or not.
Yeah.
That was, I guess, kind of the biggest struggle, I guess, that I had like as a kid using a phone. But we had like the landline phones, and then it seemed like those would go off all the time with like, scam call, or not scam calls, but 800 numbers or whatever would be trying to call you.
Yeah.
And it would drive my parents nuts. I remember like at dinner time the phone would ring.
Did they have an answering machine?
Yeah. So that was always fun to listen. And it sounded always just so old. Like,
Yeah.
hello, you have reached. And it's just, the messages were never quite super clear on them anyway. But that was always something fun. It's like, you'd go and you'd see how many messages you had. Like,
Yeah, you see the red light
5
flashing
messages.
on it, Yeah. I remember we'd get home from like church or something. The kids would all go see if the red light was flashing.
My wife, she could not wait to see if the red light was flashing.
There was I don't know, there was something kind of fun about it. Like, ours would tell us how many messages were there. So that was always something too. You kind of
You have 42 messages.
you put a little over-under action on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You see it sitting there blinking, like, oh, that could be. It was never something good.
No.
Usually it was something
Telemarketer. Or,
Yeah. Well, sometimes if like we were coordinating plans or whatever with friends, like we didn't have phones, like cell phones, but you'd have to call, and then sometimes you couldn't get through, you'd leave a message, and then you'd play phone tag with somebody through the answering machine.
Oh, yeah.
That was kind of fun, but yeah, I mean, as far as like cell phones go, I didn't get mine, like I said, until like I got into high school, and I mean by that, like I was kind of, and I actually didn't get my first smartphone until my freshman year of college. So I mean, I was always kind of behind the curve on those things.
Yeah.
And of course, my first phone was one of those really old, like flip phone type things, which was fine.
Those are fun to text on too, because you got to like try to do the whole convert the number to letters because it's got
times to get
push. I need another in.
And 7, you'd have to push 4 times, so they put 4
Yeah.
characters on number 7.
I'd have a headache just from typing a 3-word text. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just,
Yeah, and then when I first started texting, I would text different people in my family. I'd text, my sister-in-law, whatever. They'd text something to me, and I'd be texting like, "Okay, I will," and I'd hit send, and it's like, "Great!" I tell you, I get this whole like a long like, how could you possibly text that fast? Great. Then we look forward to seeing you next Tuesday. I'm like, I just said okay, and it took me 5 minutes to figure that out.
it still happens once in a while where I'll be typing a response and the person's already replied to me like 3 times. It's like, I'm still typing the original one.
Yeah, the one thing too that with phones, you have the built-in like messaging text systems, but then there's also 2,800 apps that you can basically text and send messages on, like your text things. So you might have a chat or something going on in one, like your text messages. You might have another completely different conversation going on in this app, and then in the next app, you've got something else completely going on with messages.
Yeah.
And after a while, it just gets so hard to keep track of where all these things are happening on your phone. Your phone is always bombarding you with notifications and stuff like that. People are always sending you stuff or whatever. And it is nice to have that immediate, I guess, in case something comes up or whatever, to be able to share things with the push of a button. But also at the same time, it's like, I don't really need to see this.
Yeah, and back in the day, if you didn't want to be bothered, you just took the phone off the hook.
Yep.
Yeah.
And there was something about being able to slam a phone when you're mad. If you're mad at, having an argument with your boyfriend, girlfriend, wife, husband, whatever, and just bam, slam that phone down. You lose something.
Because they could feel it on the other end.
Well, it would
be loud.
Like a loud clack. Like, oh, wow. Whatever, jerk. But when you're just mad and you just hit the end button, beep, it's like it loses something. It's like, I need something there. So.
Well, and kids too today, I feel like now, cell phones and whatnot, how connected everything is. I mean, that's just a part of life for kids now.
Oh, yeah.
Kids now get phones when they're in grade school, practically. It's just a part of their life experience.
Yeah. I'm not. I don't think that's a good thing overall for kids. Another thing I can't stand is I think people need to be very selective, at least with me. If you're going to include me in a group text, I hate the group text because you know what? I rarely have anything to do with it. They're just, well, let's keep Doug in the loops. Like, you know what? First off, just figure out whatever it is and tell me what you want me to do. Because that's usually how it goes. Give me what I need to know. Because otherwise, you're in a group text and now I'm going to be all night, or bing, 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 bing. It's like, and it's all these other people texting back and forth about something. It's like, I don't care.
Yeah.
Take me off of this. How do I want out?
Doug has left the group.
I've done that. I've went and left the group. Like, well, I'm out.
The thing, too, is like, to my point earlier, where there's multiple apps that give you things. In the apps themselves, so like Facebook, for example, you could have a conversation on a post, and then you could have a conversation in the messaging app, which is through Facebook, and then you could have a comment, in replies or whatever. There's like 18 different conversations you could be having just in one app.
Yeah, it's all crazy.
Yep.
I would have never thought in my day. I mean, when I was younger, I would have never thought about the possibility of having a little device that had music, video, phone, all.
Cameras.
It's like we had separate devices for all those things.
I was talking to my wife a while back about that, and I said, if I could have gotten in a time machine and went back and talked to, 17-year-old Doug, a senior in high school, it said, would you have bought him a pizza? When you are 50, you will have access to any music that you want to. You're going to have a device that allows you to just type in a song and listen to it immediately. And you're also going to have a device that you'll be able to ask it anything, and you can find answers. It's going to be able to allow you to communicate to anyone you want. You're going to be able to use it for map. It's going to have a map of every place. And I would have thought, I must be a multimillionaire. Man, 50-year-old Doug's got it made.
And it's all the same device.
Yeah, it's one. It fits in the palm of your hand. You put it in your pocket.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can connect it to speakers. You can connect it to your car. I would have thought, oh my gosh, I'm a super wealthy dude. This life is sweet. It's going to get better. I would have been like all in, like this is fantastic.
And now
not.
I do have
and there's no pizza.
Oh, it's the worst part.
That is the worst part.
I do have a story real quick on the communication.
We do offer a 30-minute guarantee, though. Sorry.
I do have a story on the general communications. Here recently, our internet service provider had one of their fiber cables cut, and they were getting that supplied from some other bigger supplier up in Chicago. And it is amazing how as soon as that connection to the internet as a whole is lost, you would think society grinds to a halt.
Oh, yeah.
Life ceases to exist for people who cannot have access to their Wi-Fi and their internet. I mean, it was nuts. Every 2 seconds, people would have to, when is it back? When is it back? They're like addicted. It's like a drug, honestly. Because people would...
or they get angry.
They're all... I mean, it was down for about 3 days. And if you're working from home, I mean, there's some stuff I can understand, some frustration, but society grinds to a halt.
I can't play Wordle.
Lost. Exactly. Like people would post, I didn't save it. I can probably go back and find it. Somebody's comment was like, my kids can't stream their shows. Well, I'm so sorry. Here's a novel idea. Maybe they don't need that to begin with. Maybe they can interact with each other. You can have some family time.
How dare
How about
you
try to parent? Ooh, there's a novel idea.
How about you communicate in the real world from, actually not behind a screen, face to face kind of a thing.
Yeah.
But apparently that's too much. So if you take away that aspect of life, apparently for some people the world is basically over at that point.
I really think I could go back. I do too. I do. It'd be a tough transition, but I think I could.
Okay, so we'll wrap that up and let's say, so for better or for worse, what do you think? Is it better that the technology has got where it has overall? Like I said, there's good and bad, or is it worse? I know where I'm going.
I know where I'm going.
I may be skewed. We'll talk. We'll say why. Go ahead. Do you have a thought, Mike, or you want to go first? Or
I mean, I have a feeling I'm going to be the one answer, but I'm going to say better.
Okay.
And again, there's certain aspects that after just ranting about it for 5 minutes, that I think are not good. Mm-hmm. But just like what you were saying to the 17-year-old Doug, everything that it can do for you. I mean, I'm just so used to in my life basically having that luxury. Yep. At least since high school, I guess. But having that luxury, literally from something that I put in my pocket.
Yeah, I'm very much on the fence. But I'm going to say better as well, because I think the advantages outweigh the disadvantages. I don't know, the innocence or the simplicity that we had back then was awful nice. But the ability in case of emergencies to have something accessible like this.
It's such a double-edged sword.
It is. It can be a time waster, big time.
Because almost for every advantage, there's a mirror opposite disadvantage.
Yeah.
And vice versa.
Yeah. But I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to stick with better, I think, because I think I don't know. I wanted to say as a society, I think it's better, but maybe it's not.
Until we get things like TikTok.
Yeah, that's a whole nother issue. But I'm going to go with better. I can't defend it that well, but
and I'm kind of feel the same way. I mean, there are things that are fantastic about it, and there's things that I don't like. But I feel I'm going to go worse. And the reason I'm saying worse, I'm saying as a society as a whole. For me personally, yeah, I like it better. But for society, I think society is worse
because
we've
all
technology.
Become degenerates.
Well. Somewhat. I mean, we are all more narcissistic.
Yes.
I mean, all of us, including myself, self-centered. I think kids have more social problems. I mean, it was before, like if you were bullied at school, you knew how to deal with it. Now that you can be bullied 24/7. I mean, it's not just, you're bullied on social media, and this is on parenting too. Don't let your kids get into social media. That's just my opinion.
Yeah.
Because it ruins them. It ruins kids' lives. It really does. I mean, this is
I'll have to find a story. Actually, I saw a headline. Maybe I can bring up the story later. But a mom paid her son $1,800 on his 18th birthday if he refrained from joining social media until he was 18. And he held off, and the mom,
good for him.
The mom paid him $1,800 to stay off of social media until he was 18. So I thought that was a cool story.
That is a cool story. So yeah, mine is more of a general. I think society in general.
So you think
is worse off?
You think that's weighed against the benefits of it? You think those negatives outweigh the positives of it?
Yes.
Okay.
Maybe not by much, but I still believe. That's what I think.
Yeah.
I think it has. There's a lot of good to it, but I think there's a lot of bad to it too. And I mean, you can't change it. It's out there. So
it's there. Yeah.
But I think just looking back, and maybe it's skewed because I was a kid. So maybe I'm looking kind of rose colored.
Well, yeah, because we know what we had.
Well, there was problems back then too, but it seemed like the problems that were out there. I don't know. They were dealt with differently, handled a little different.
Well, and we didn't know what we didn't have.
This is all true. This is all true. So, I don't know. That's just my opinion.
Yeah.
But all right. Well, that's one. We'll do this again some other time. We got other things to talk about.
Lots of other topics we can apply that to.
So, all right. Well, let's go on. Stupid criminals. I've got the first. We're going to Florida because that's where,
as we always do.
That's where most of them are. A man there got into a fight with his brother. It says here, the headline said, man threatened to, and in quotes, cut the gay out of his brother. So, while threatening his brother with a knife, a Florida man said he was going to cut the gay out of his sibling, according to police who arrested the suspect on multiple criminal charges. Miami-Dade Police Department reports officers responded Thursday morning about a violent dispute between a man and his brother. Martinez's kin told the cops that his sibling had been acting strangely since last night and threatened him while sharpening a large kitchen knife, telling him he was going to cut the gay out of him. Martinez told the victim he was going to kill him When the man sought to depart the residence, Martinez followed him out, grabbed him, and told him to get back in the house. In fear the victim returned, but was eventually able to exit the location, had a friend call the police. So the officers arrived at the home of Martinez, and he became irate and was uncooperative to the point of struggling with cops who attempted to detain him. After being taken to the ground, Martinez was handcuffed by the officers, seized the knife. He was arrested for aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, kidnapping, false imprisonment, all of which are felonies. He is also charged with 2 misdemeanor resisting accounts. So there we go. But my thought was, first off, was his brother gay? Because that's going to be a big impact.
It really doesn't say that.
Why would he say, I'm going to cut the gay out of you? That's my first thought. And the second is, where's the gay at that he was going to be cutting? Where are you cutting?
I didn't know it was so centrally located.
I didn't either. I mean, I didn't know it was just so you could just say, I'm going to cut the gay out of you.
Is that a surgical procedure or?
Well, he was going to do it with a kitchen knife. So
it didn't say where he stabbed him.
If there was a way to do it, I would think it would be a little more intricate than that myself. There would probably be a specialist you'd want to go to, not just your brother with the kitchen knife.
Well, is this picture of the guy that got cut, or
I think that's the guy that was wanting to do the cutting.
What's he wearing, a toga or what?
Well, I think it's a Band-Aid. Yeah. This was after he had tussled with the police.
Okay.
Oh my.
So.
Yeah, I'm not sure where you'd slice to take care of that.
I wouldn't think you want to just go cutting willy-nilly all around there, or cut willy-nilly. I don't know. Maybe that's where the gay's at. I don't know. But, yeah, I thought that was interesting. Like, okay. There we go. Florida man. He'll cut the gay out of you. All right, before I get into the next story, I want to ask you guys a question. What is the deadliest or most dangerous food that's out there, would you think? What do you think?
Deadliest
if
in
I
what
said,
way?
okay, if I said you
Pizza.
have to protect yourself, that can be used as a deadly weapon. You're going to have to protect yourself against somebody who's going to come at you. What food are you going to pick?
What are they gonna cut?
Well, I don't know. Maybe somebody's going to try to cut the gay out of you, Mike. How are you going to defend yourself?
And what food are they using to do that?
I mean, Chinese, it's cut pretty small. You're not going to do a lot of damage with Chinese.
No. That's a good question.
See, I was thinking specific, like a
Italian?
vegetable, like an onion. They're hard. You can wing that at somebody.
I guess you could go vegan.
Yeah, I'm a vegan,
Like a
But as far as,
like a kettle cooked potato chip or something. Or, I don't know.
There you go. Well, I think we've talked about a pizza being used before, pizza slices.
Yes.
So if it's thin crust,
winging those
you could
pizza
wing that
slices,
pizza slice.
Right.
put an eye out or something.
Well, the reason I asked that is that this one, this is Florida woman.
Oh,
I didn't realize.
well, we got to have an equal
Woman,
billing
Equal
here.
representation.
Woman 20 arrested for battering her mother with a pair of tossed tacos.
I was thinking taco
You should have
shells.
went with it.
I was kind of thinking that.
Says there's been a domestic taco battery. Florida police report.
Oh my gosh.
Braden Langford, 20, was arrested Saturday evening for allegedly striking her mother in the head with 2 thrown tacos inside the family's residence in the Tampa area. According to the arrest affidavit, Langford and the 50-year-old victim were arguing about the cleanliness of the house.
Which the tacos would add to that mess. I mean,
especially if there's like that loose leaf lettuce in there. That's going to get everywhere. I mean, that's just a disaster. Says that she became upset and threw the 2 tacos from the dining room. The tacos struck the victim in the head while she was sitting on the couch. When the cops arrived at the home, the victim had food debris all around her on the couch and the back of her shirt. Langford was admitted to the taco tossing, but said she did it out of frustration and did not mean to strike her mother. Langford's mother was not injured by the airborne tacos, which are not further described in the affidavit. I love that. She was charged
with corn shell or with a,
Yeah, she was charged with domestic battery, a misdemeanor, and booked in the county jail. She was released on bond.
Were the tacos registered?
I don't know. Well, part of my thing, this is another gripe, is like when we were kids, if this there would have been no charge. They'd come up, somebody threw a taco, like, look, this is not domestic battery. This is not this. This is somebody got mad. They threw a taco. It's not going to hurt somebody.
Well,
but now maybe it's like the flaming hot taco shells or the ones that are made with Doritos, because those Doritos, they can hurt.
They can inflict a cut.
They can hurt you.
say if I had thrown a taco at my parents, yeah, there would be no need for the cops. I would be begging for the cops.
The cops would be there. There would be a chalk outline of my body.
Yes.
Okay. Well, the reason I wanted to ask that is when I was looking up different things, this story came across the timeline and it said related stories. Now, this isn't all from this year, but it was with the tagline tacos. I'm like, all right, what is this? So here we go. I'm just going to read some of these. Again, these are going back this year and for a few years back. Ex-con jailed on grand theft burrito charge. These are just they're just going to read you the headlines. Corrections officer charged with using burrito to smuggle narcotics into Colorado prison.
Oh, jeez.
Man batters girlfriend with a burrito.
That must have been a big burrito.
49-year-old arrested for attacking wife with a Taco Bell burrito. Taco Bell worker arrested for burrito assault on eatery manager.
Burrito assault.
Taco Bell worker sought in hot burrito assault.
A lot of burritos, not as many tacos.
I don't know. Mom socked son over Taco Bell grub, so that was just over the fight.
Come on.
Here we go. Man stabs wife with fork after burrito assault. So she assaulted him, and he stabbed her with a fork.
Was it a plastic fork? One of the Taco Bell plastic?
It can hurt. It doesn't go in very deep, though.
And when you burrito somebody, do you squirt a little hot sauce on them, too?
Maybe you get an extra spicy
you
burrito.
get those little packets. You hit them with the burrito, and then...
That could be.
You preload the burrito.
Yeah.
Idaho man, 52, arrested for battering female victim with a burrito. Diner attacked for refusing Seattle man's demand for a bite of his burrito. So, now again, that wasn't, he didn't get assaulted with the food, but
he wanted a bite.
Florida man, 36, assaulted teen relative with taco burrito.
Hold it. Taco burrito?
Taco Bell burrito.
Oh.
Armed with a deadly burrito. That's just the headline there.
Deadly.
This is even better. The sub-headline for that says, felony charge for teen who tossed Mexican missile at car.
Oh, my God.
Florida doctor in superhero costume busted for groping women. Let's see, when Captain America throws his mighty burrito. So. I don't know.
Captain America with a mighty burrito. That's crossing ethnicities there.
So that was just a few of them over the last couple years. But I was like, wow, that's Mexican food. Not only is it spicy.
I think we should video this, test hitting each other with a burrito and see if it hurts.
Well, now I was thinking about that too. It's like, but we said that they've got the taco shells made of the Doritos. Those could be jagged edges.
Those could be.
We have a few Mexican places around here that advertise the taco the size of your head. If you hit somebody with that, you might kill them. That's a big taco. That's a big burrito. Again, I feel like the burrito, if you're going to use the burrito, it's got to be a big burrito because it's got the soft shell.
They're mushy. I mean, they're not.
So you need some heft.
You got to pack it pretty tight.
Well, you got to roll it tight.
You'll look like,
or it'll just explode.
You'll look like Napoleon Dynamite getting hit with a stake in the side of the head.
I feel like a taco will hold that shape better, but when it hits, I feel like it might just explode. Where if you got a nice rolled burrito and use that. If it's big enough, if you got a burrito the size of your head, you might be able to do some damage.
Yeah.
So there we go. If you are getting some Mexican food, please be careful. And if you're in a fight, put the burrito down. Put the burrito down. And especially a hot burrito. We don't want anybody getting hurt. So
back to your original question, the most dangerous food then. So can you think of anything from an Italian or Chinese menu that might be?
Italian, I mean, it's wet noodles. It's really hard to hit.
We've had the story about the noodles, right? in the
Yeah,
past.
we had a story about it. Well, that was ramen, wasn't it? Well, I've had a couple about.
Oh, I thought it was spaghetti.
Maybe it was.
Because a couple got in a fight, and he was making spaghetti or something,
Yeah,
wasn't he?
he threw
Well, now,
it.
would, around here we've got La Gondola and Avanti's. They're known for their large, like, torpedo
Yeah.
sandwiches. You could flog somebody with one of those
You
pretty
could, or
good.
get a loaf of that bread.
Yeah.
Loaf of that bread could do
That
could do a
Italian
number on
bread.
them.
You might be able to, that sweet bread.
Well, the meatballs.
And it would still taste good
the
afterwards.
meatballs would probably travel pretty well. I mean,
You
you
could
probably
hurl
fill
a few
those.
meatballs.
So I
you
feel
know.
like if I had to defend myself, I'm going Mexican. I mean, it sounds like that's the weapon of choice
Yeah.
for a lot of people.
Very versatile, right?
I don't know.
You've got the tacos.
You can throw it, you can swing it.
I might
Right.
grab some wasabi at the Chinese place and wing it into your eye.
You gotta have. I feel though you got to be pretty precise with that because if you miss
You
the
would have to
eye-
be. Well, you could
What if
push
you
and
got
rub.
glasses. See, you got glasses. A little more difficult. You could throw rice.
little shards of rice at you.
Go at them with some chopsticks.
Would an egg roll hurt?
Oh, I don't think so.
Or a wonton? Some of those wontons can be pretty sharp.
They can. Again, just from the all the stories I saw.
A German
I think-
kielbasa. Okay, I'm going. Boom, boom.
Well, some of those kielbasas look like nunchucks. They're all strung together. You know. You get some, maybe Oktoberfest. You get some German beer and a nunchuck of kielbasas.
Yeah,
Maybe that could do some
that
damage.
could probably-
That might give the Mexican food a run for their money.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe that's what we need to do.
A big old Polish sausage is wham.
We'll have a fight with the Polish sausage and a burrito. See what's going to come out.
See
the
what's
winner.
more effective.
So,
Maybe we can get like a mannequin down here or something. Just wail on it with foods.
there we go. That would be entertaining. All right. Well, I got nothing else.
I don't either.
I think that's a wrap.
That is a wrap.
Yes, it is a wrap. That is a burrito.
All right. Well, hey, thank you for listening. Thanks for tuning in. We appreciate it so much. If you like the show, please give us a review. Hit the share button. Give us a 5-star rating. Keep tuning in. And we hope you have a great week. Relax. Try to laugh a little bit. Don't get offended about things. Keep your head on a swivel this next week, apparently. We got a lot going on. We talked about
That's right.
dumpsters. World's kind of a dumpster fire right now. So
Yes, it is.
So keep your eyes open.
Watch out for those burritos.
Watch out. Oh, please watch out for the burritos. Once again, thanks for tuning in, and we will talk at you in 7 days. See ya.
Later.
Peace.
Well, that wraps up another episode. Thanks for listening. Please be sure to subscribe, and you can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.